I'm having one of those mornings where it's a hard time getting started. I've been trying to begin for like the last 2 hours and things keep coming up and things keep coming up. It's life stuff, so it's no big deal, but I'm now ready to go. So I've got two things that I want to tackle this time around because I'm setting myself up for what the next episode is going to be, which is going to be a big step for me. And I'm also super interested to see how things turn out. So right now, the plan is this. Got the steering column out of the square body. That's the original one for the camper special that Tim pulled out many episodes ago. This is what we want to go with. Just makes the most sense because it will connect up to the gearbox, which connects up to the frame. It'll be perfect. So over here, what I've got to do is see how it fits through that hole. I have a sneaky suspicion it may not fit easily, but we'll see. I think that the shift linkage might be a problem, and we're not going to stick with the column shift, so I'm not sure what to do on that, but I'll figure it out. Then, what I've got here is, got to do some cleanup. Still got some wires and stuff like that I want to pull out because we really don't need any of this stuff. But the other thing that I've got to do too, and this is going to make for a big job, is that I've got to sand all of this floor down and get it ready to put some primer down on it. The reason for that is I've got our spray-on insulation that I want to put in an upcoming episode. Oh, she goes through. Not too bad at all. It wasn't until I turned the camera off that I realized that I was making a mistake. I realized that the wheel was sitting way too low. Well, the column was sitting way too low. So I took the bracket off and I've now put it in, which fits right into the indentation there for the old one, which is no big deal. It just means that I'm going to have to fab up some sort of bracket to work on this, which I don't think is going to be much of a pain. It'll be a little bit of work, but for some good payoff. We've ended up with a lot more work than I thought, but it is coming along. So just getting these brackets set up in here. I am currently working on the other side. There's the piece down there. So it's one of those days where it's taking me much longer than I anticipated, but I'm fine with that. It's got to look good and it's got to work right, so I don't want to rush anything. So it took a while. It took me a couple hours actually, but it is all mounted. Brackets are going to need a little bit of finessing, but for the most part, they're in. Everything fits up nice and tight. Should work for me. I don't know if it's perfectly straight, but I can certainly make adjustments if that's the case. There's going to be a little bit of leeway on on my bracketry and stuff like that. Back down at the shop with a couple of things on the go today. First off, gonna get this guy painted. That's a steering gearbox. Tim took it apart up at the store, rebuilt everything. Now it needs a bit of a spritz of paint before we come over here and mount it up. That's why, yeah, it goes right in there. Then, after that, I'm going to do a job I haven't really been looking forward to, but it's necessary. So what we've got, like I showed earlier, going to get back on the floor, get this all cleaned up and ground down, get ready to put some primer onto it, and make things look nice. So it's going to be a day of grinding and painting. Okay, oh, look at me. I'm a dirty mess, and look at my beard. It's got this weird thing from a mask. Anyway, floor is done for the most part. There's a little bit of touch-up and stuff like that left to do. One thing that I am faced with, though, are these holes in the floor. There's one over on the other side, same sort of thing. It's still got the plug in it, which is great, but there's also this guy here. Now, I was not looking forward or wanting to cut out circles today, but I just so happened to find this in the drawer. Now, what are the chances that it'll actually fit? Well, it turns out the chances are pretty high. Perfect. So that's going to save me a whole bunch of headaches. And then this flap here, I'm not really sure about. It looks as though it was actually part of the air system. Or sorry, not the air system, the heater. So I don't know if I should leave that open for some reason. I think probably what I'll do is I'll leave it open for now, and then I will make a nice panel for it, and I'll just bolt it in instead of welding it in. I don't know why we would ever need to pop that open again and use it, but you never know. Once I weld it in, I can't pop it back out again. These guys, we know, just have to be done. So off I go with my hole saw. Okay, so holes are filled. A little more splattered than I would have liked, but you know what? Right now all I've got is flux core in the welder. I have to go and get some more gas, and I keep forgetting to. Filled a hole in over there as well. Now the one thing that I've seen, which I should probably address before I paint anything or do anything more, is this surprise right here. Might not hurt to throw a patch into that guy and at least get it covered up, because I don't know if, well, we're going to put some cover over here, of course, but probably not be a terrible idea to figure out, I don't know what to do there. All right, well, maybe not. We'll see. So I'm back at it for what I would consider phase 3 of the floor project. There's 4 in total, but today we're on to the 3rd. Number 1 was cleaning it up, grinding all the rust off, getting all the crap off. Number 2 was cleaning it all down, so vacuumed it all up. And number 3 is going to be painting it. So today I'm just old Painty Can Ned, and I'm going to brush primer on over that bare floor so we can get ready for what's going to go on in the next episode, which will be me putting down the spray-on insulation. So what I have done, because the garage is kind of a cold spot, it's not freezing, but at times, I'm sure in other videos you might have seen my breath. You can kind of see it today. It's a little bit warmer in here than usual because it's warmer outside. But so I have cocooned off the car and thrown another heater in there. It's not a perfect solution, but I'm hoping that it does help some, and I do see that it has raised the temperature a little bit in there compared to out here. I can actually feel it. So let's wander on in. All prepped, ready to go. Wiped it down with some acetone. Vacuumed it all up first. Now it's just a matter of, like I said, getting out my brush and starting to paint. So, in keeping with the fact that this is an episode of many time warps, I'm going to set the camera back up, time warp some more, and everyone can watch me paint. So we're all done. The paint kind of showed up a few imperfections and little spots that I missed and stuff like that. It's nothing major, and I'm kind of hoping that once we get the insulation on the floor and then get all the other stuff on top of that, it won't be really that noticeable. There's only one spot I can see being a bit of a problem, and I don't know if it really shows up well on camera or not. From the perspective that I'm looking at it, it looks super nice, but up close it's not perfect, but that's fine because it's a Rat Rod. So while I was waiting for the paint to dry on that, I also made good use of my time and connected this guy up. Power steering gearbox, all done, painted, attached back on. So now I've just got to get my connection done here, but my biggest concern was just having it on and getting it off the floor and getting it out of the way. So that's that for this episode. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a long process for sure. It took me a lot longer than I think. That's the culmination of about 3 days worth of work. Up next is actually getting at the floor. So a little bit of the same, but also different at the same time. So the plan is that we're gonna put a product on that's called Lizard Skin. Lizard Skin is a ceramic spray-on insulation. Once we get that done, then I'm going to put some Raptor liner on top of that, and hopefully that's going to be strong enough to protect everything that's underneath. My slight concern is the fact that the Lizard Skin doesn't always, it doesn't get super hard. I guess it stays a little bit soft, but we'll see. Whatever works. Cross our fingers. So yeah, I'll do a video installing that. I know that there's a whole bunch of them on YouTube anyway, but for posterity's sake and for the step in this project, I'm going to do it anyway. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a good one.